Hello, guys. Top of the afternoon to you. This is George from Trade Pro Academy. Want to start off in video mode to say hello. I think I've done that. We're going to get started in just a moment. Let you guys trickle in here. We've had a very eventful day to the market so far. All week it's been really slow. We've been coiled in a really tight range. I've been saying it's about time we break out, and today it's about time we already break out. For goodness sake, it's happened. Sipping some coffee here out of my mug. Trade Pro Academy exclusive. You got 86,400 seconds. How will you spend them today? All right, you can get yours for $3,000 on our website. Just kidding, they're not for sale. But welcome to the webinar. Let's get started. All jokes aside, I see people are starting to trickle in, and by people I mean person. But most of you tend to watch these later on anyway. So I want to get started by sharing my screen here and broadcasting. So I'm going to click share. I just want to remind you the information in this presentation is for educational purposes only, is not to be taken as investment advice. The risk of trading in markets can be substantial. You should carefully consider if engaging in such activities suitable to your own financial situation. Trade Pro Academy is not responsible for any liabilities arising as a result of your market involvement or individual trade activities. Wow. I think that's the fastest I've ever done it. I hope you could listen fast because I was speaking fast. Let me just launch my pen software because I like to draw on the chart a lot. And then we'll get started. Just give me one brief moment here. I'm just waiting for it to load, and I'm waiting a little bit more. I'm going to click record. Don't let that creep you out. You're going to see a countdown. That's just the software that I use for my pen to allow me to draw on the screen. Perfect. All right, guys, with that being said, let's jump right into it today. We got a pretty important update here for the afternoon. What is the big news that hit the wire this morning? I don't know if anyone's paying attention, and the answer should be yes. Everyone should be paying attention to the news flow because it drives a lot of the markets. There was Saudi oil minister came in at 9:21 in the morning and said there's going to be a meeting between OPEC and non-OPEC producing nations next month to discuss the market. All right. OPEC stands for oil and petroleum exporting countries, I believe. I don't know what it stands for. Who cares? And non-OPEC are countries that are not part of the pact that also produce. One of the biggest ones is Russia. So here's what's going down. The meeting they're going to be talking about next month is going to be a potential action in order to stabilize the oil market. All right, we've had some of these last year. This is pretty much beating on the same drum we've had midsummer, last summer, and this year as well. They're jawboning the market. They're definitely jawboning. And in this light of this entire meeting happening, the IEA, the International Energy Association, releases a report saying oil demand is going to be going down in 2017 due to bleak economic forecasts for next year. So look at this. And then you get another report saying Iran plans to pump a record amount of oil along with Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. So let's do the math here, guys. Excess supply with less demand is a double whammy for a negative oil price. But the fact that this meeting might exist caused oil to do what? You guessed it. Oil's up 4% today. Let me show you what that chart looks like. Right here. So I'm going to go on Netflix, change it to CL1. CL1 exclamation is the contract for the futures on oil. I have it delayed here in live data on my other platform. But look at this. It's up 4%, and it's still pushing right now. 43.72 is the current price. I just absolutely just skyrocketed on that news as of the open. So you got to expect that after this massive sell-off in oil, everyone started to get bearish. All right, guys, and when everyone starts to get bearish, it's time to buy. When everyone's talking about negative oil and oil hitting back down to the low 20s, you know that at least this $40 a barrel mark should have held for a rally. It was a good for retrace and a run up to 45. I've been saying this for weeks. I've been saying that if we get that $40 a barrel mark, the next level is going to be probably 46. We're not going to go down in a vertical line because that allows a lot of people to make money on the price movement. The stock price takes the route that allows the least amount of people to make the least amount of money. Remember that, and it's going to serve you well for your whole career. That's what oil did. ES, which is the S&P 500 market, let me take you through my charts here. This is called Market Delta. This is a platform that if you trade futures, you absolutely must have. What it does is allow you to read order flow. Look at this. 9:30 comes out right here. The market opens at 9:30. What does it do? It gets boring. It sifts. It consolidates. These are rotations in the market, totally normal, around this VWAP and this point of control area. As soon as this breaks, sellers come in. Whack, one load. consolidation or rotation up, whack, second load. What happens? Well, look, I'm going to zoom in and show you what happens. If you're trading futures, this should be particularly interesting to you. If you're waiting for the options trade, give me a few minutes. We'll get into it. I got a trade for you for today as well, and an update on how we did yesterday. All right, look at this. So we're getting down to this 2176 level, and suddenly the buyers start to show up. 1962 contracts get traded right here at 2175.75, and that's the biggest amount. All right, this is the bid and the ask. It's the biggest amount since consolidation up here since this fight. And then here you see 231 lot seller come in and hit the bid actually at 76.25 as prices are dropping. And guess what? Price doesn't go down that much. All right. What's the next bar look like? Well, now you see a bottoming out candle. You're seeing sellers. This guy sold big. Buyers are starting to show up. Selling's actually drying up. This is time for a rally. So I took a shot. I went long at 76.25 right up here. What ended up happening? Whack. Obviously, stop losses get hit en route to these new highs. And then now we hit all-time highs. So this is the fresh contract highs. All that was possible to be really picked out based on how order flow was trading. A ton of people started selling. And over the last couple of days, every time there's been sales, it's rallied upwards. These bears tried to push it down. They did a double bottom. Order flow started to indicate there's a lot of trapped shorts. All right. Selling dried up. Buyers started to show up. This all you're seeing here is stop loss run. Everyone that's been shorting the market saying it can't go any higher possibly, guess where their stops are? Up here. So, all right, let's take another run. Run their stops as well. The market is going to get through and run as many stops as possible. The path that it walks is a path of maximum possible pain. Remember that. All right, ask yourself when you're looking at the charts, not, ooh, where's the stock going to go so I can make a ton of money? Ask, where's the stock going to go to have the most amount of carnage and blood get spilled on the floor? I know it's gory. I know some of you are like, wow, came here to talk about trading, not murder. But that's what's happening, guys. You might not be getting murdered, but your finances are. And 90% of traders' finances are. So why did it go up? Well, everyone started leaning on shorting. Everyone was short. And when everyone's short, stops get run, retrace, stops get run, retrace. Might see another wave up. We're now looking at record all-time highs on the E-minis. And the S&P 500 just pushed a new all-time high today. So congratulations to the S&P 500. Here it is. Pressed a new all-time high in light of everyone trying to short this thing. I can't tell you how many guys are short from 2060. And went up here, I'll short it again. I'll short it again. I'll short it again. All right, buddy, you keep shorting, and you might eventually be right, but your average cost is 21.17. And when it gets down to your average cost, you're going to say, oh, yes, I'm going to break even on this trade. Meanwhile, I'm making a killing on this down wave because I just shorted at the top. All right. And you're going to say, look, here's my average cost. What's going to happen when it starts approaching it? They're going to start buying, right? Because they're selling at this average cost. As price comes near, these guys are going to start buying, forcing the price to move away from themselves and incur losses once again. Rinse, recycle, repeat. That's how the market moves. The point of maximum pain. Remember that from Trade Pro Academy and me. All right, look at this. CL, oil taking a new run. It's off these lows of the 40. It broke 40 temporarily 2 weeks ago, but it's also now on its way up for a retracement or a correction wave. I wouldn't say this is the beginning of a new bull market. I'd say you're probably looking at a 46 target right here, and I wouldn't be buying this crap right now. I'll tell you that much right now. I'm going to wait for a pullback to buy it. I'd love to buy oil, just not yet. The timing's not right. I'm targeting 46, at which point it'll probably keel over, make another rotation down to this level right here, 36, and then we just go sideways. All right? I just read somewhere $60 a barrel is what is required to keep shale production and oil production in the United States profitable. Yeah, good luck with that. You think we're getting to 60? No way. Or I mean, we could, but I just don't think so. All right, gold is holding its upward rally here. It's still ascending, which is an interesting factor. When gold goes up and the market's going up at the same time, these are usually counterbalanced, and gold should be going down, but it's not. So this could be an uh-oh moment. What's going on? So that's the markets for you. S&P 500 off the fresh highs on the back of too many people shorting it and getting their stop losses run. Dollar index slightly higher today, and gold pushing upwards as well. All right, that's what I had planned for you. So now you see how the E-minis ran up to new highs. You saw that oil took it up for the ride with you. And if you're not getting access to any news throughout the market day, you have to. You're putting yourself at a significant disadvantage to other traders. All right, I'll give you a free news source right now, financialjuice.com. It's a free live squawk with a 10-second delay. If you're a news trader, that ain't going to work for you because there's a 10-second delay. If you're an everyday trader, who cares about live news? The news shouldn't really impact you that much anyways. It took more than 10 minutes for them, or 10 seconds for the market to go to all-time highs after that report at 921. In fact, the market kind of balanced here, just taking it in, and then had a bit of a WTF moment before it spiked upwards on the CL contract. All right, so that's what we're looking at. Any questions? I don't know. Can you guys ask questions in this thing? I'm a bit of a dinosaur with this Google Hangouts technology. Can you ask questions? How are you supposed to answer if you can't even? Let me see. How do I do this? Chat. I'm gonna open up the chat. Here we go. I opened up the chat for you guys. Type stuff. Say hello. Trading at home all day is already so boring. Don't come on, guys. It's my chance to socialize with somebody. Please, somebody, talk to me. Just kidding. I'm not desperate for companionship. Let's look at some trades, all right, guys? Because so far we've determined markets are an all-time high. Can it keep going? Absolutely, it can. Should you buy right now? Absolutely not. Here's what I'm looking at on the futures on the S&P 500, referred to as the SPOOs. We try to have a run up here. We met with a 260 lot seller at 84 evens. We're going to get into consolidation and a bit of a chop. I see another rotation down to the previous day high. This red line here is a previous day high. Always have your previous day highs mapped out on your chart. 2181.50 will be support. So I'm looking to buy down here. I already had a blockbuster trade for today. I got 10 points out of this trade. All right, getting 10 points in this summer market is a high five. All right, it's the best day I had in August. So I'm going to chill. I'm not going to do anything special today. I'm just going to sit on the profit and just watch some other opportunities in the options markets. But if I had to get in, I'd wait for rotation down to this block of volume and ultimately see if these VWAPs here hold around 2180. Don't be buying it now. Don't be buying at highs. Heck, sell the thing at a high. You got a much more probability or much higher probability of being right if you sell the high. You know who buys the highs? Suckers buy the highs. That's who buys it. I know you got fear of missing out up here, but trust me, it's going to look sweeter in a couple minutes or hours when the market's back down here. And they go, thank goodness I didn't buy that. Because who buys here? Amateurs. That's who buys up here. Where do the pros buy? They're trying to pick some of these levels as we speak. All right, notice how I got in and picked my bottom here. I ain't going to be out there buying this thing up here. Too late. All right. If you miss a trade, pretend like you got it. You know what I do? If I get up here, let's say, and I miss this trade, I'm like, oh, darn, I should have gotten into it. What's the first thing your psychology tells you to do is jump into the trade. Who cares? You could have got it here. Now you could get it here. That's the worst thing psychologically you could do to yourself. The worst thing. Here's a trick I'm going to give you. Get your notepad out and write this down. If you didn't get it here, when it gets up here, trick your mind to believe that you got it down here. At 76, tell yourself, hey, man, I picked up a few contracts at 21.76. I'm all right. And then if the answer to this next question is yes, then buy it. Would I buy again had I bought here? Most times the answer is no. GTFO. Get out of that trade. All right? Never buy the highs. Please. Just don't do that because you might as well just email me your check for the money you're planning to put in that trade because, I mean, no offense. I'm going to take it from you anyways if you're buying highs. Okay? Shorten these. All right. Enough jibber jabber. Let's look at some trades and some trade opportunities for this afternoon. And I'm going to set up a trade on Netflix, NFLX. There we go. Here's Netflix right here, NFLX. Currently 95.50. What? Netflix data shouldn't be delayed. What's going on? Come on, TradingView. Here we go. Here's a 15-minute chart on Netflix. I'm going to tell you, man, we're already kind of missing it. I'm looking for a short, okay? I haven't shorted yet, but I will. Just not yet. I want to see this thing kind of maybe come up a little bit more. I don't want to short. I told you, I don't want to short a low, and we're getting to that area now. I was looking at about 95.80, but I'm short on Netflix, and here's why. All right, in the last couple of days, we had this huge run-up. We had a lot of volume get let off at this 97 area. We haven't traded this 97. You see this? This was a high volume or point of control area around 97.25, and we haven't gotten up there. We made a push to get up there, failed. All right, we did a second push, failed. We did a third push, failed. Today, we finally broke out. What happens as soon as we touch this 96 and peek our head above it? Whack, it gets lower. This is a day trade. I by no means am saying I'm going to hold this thing until, until like next year or anything like that. I'm going to hold it till the end of the day, till 4 p.m. Here's the plan. Short it here, stop loss above this high. So I'm going to look at stop at 96.25. All right, target $94. You can get yourself $1.50 out of this trade, high five yourselves, and walk on to the next one. Two ways to do it: buy a straight put, which very few professional traders trade straight outright contracts. I'm going to tell you that just because you deserve to know the truth. Most people do a spread trade. So if you want to spread it, grab a 96 put or 95.50 put and probably sell that 94. You'll get something out of it for sure. Okay. That removes volatility, it removes the effect of time decay, and puts you in a position to profit potentially, even if you're wrong. You're not going to make as much, but you're going to make it more often, and that's more important. Your goal should be focusing on consistency, not making on millions of dollars. Nobody's made $1 million when they first started out trading or been trading for a year or two. Nobody. All right. Look at Dan Zanger. Okay, he might have done it, but he's a different type of dude. I'm not the best trader in the world. You might be, but odds are you aren't. So you got to trade like an average trader. An average trader wants to minimize their risk by reducing exposure to time value with options, reducing exposure to volatility, and playing it safe. So I'm going to grab a 95.50 put on Netflix as soon as I end this broadcast. I'm targeting $94. If I get that, I'm happy. And I'm probably going to sell the 94 put. So that'll create a debit spread. All right, maximum profit is this window. And I'm going to take it, and that's it. And if I have to hold overnight, I may, but I'd reduce my exposure. So if I go 30 contracts into this trade, I'm going to probably close out 15 by the end of the day if I want to hold it and hold just a slice of it. Never risk more than 2% of your account balance. I'm not planning to. I hate holding options overnight, but I do it if the trade looks ripe. That's a trade. Netflix, short, target 94. Momentum starting to roll over and crossover. You're seeing some signs of follow through and continuation. And this recent rally is coming to an end off of that momentum indicator. All right, guys, that's the trade. Any questions for me? Comments, concerns, emotional breakdowns. For the rest of the day, what do we got going here? What's on the docket for news? That's a really good question, George. There's nobody else asking questions. I'll ask myself questions. And that somehow is fine. I'm going to talk to that about my psychologist. You know what? A lot of prop firms actually take advantage of the most psychologists. When I run a prop firm, I can tell you right now, it's going to have psychologists on docket. I'll tell you the news. So if you go to forexfactory.com or if you type in Bloomberg News Calendar, you're going to have access to the same stuff I look at. Plus, I use Rand Squawk, just $300 a month. Well worth every penny if you follow news and trade full time. Calendar, let me go in here. All right, so coming up, we don't have anything really. I'm just looking at my other monitor up here. August the 11th, we had the natural gas inventory come out today, 29 billion barrels. All right, here it is. Hold on, let me just drag it down from my other screen up top. There you go. We had natty gas come out, 29 billion barrel storage fill or an infusion of it. All right, so it's kind of like a build of barrels that's added to the supply, oversupplied market with an expectation of 24 billion. The previous of minus 6 billion. It didn't even flinch. The thing just popped upwards. Today at 6:45 p.m. after market close, we get some retail sales out of New Zealand. New Zealand cut interest rates last night at 5 p.m. from 2.25% down to 2. And the guy that runs it, that heads it up, is retiring. That was his last meeting. They were scrutinized heavily for not giving a future plan of how they're going to really roll with their interest rates. All right, what their future stimulus would look like. They got bashed about that. But anyways, you got nothing from now until the market close. We have a 30-year bond auction coming up. If you're a treasury trader, that's going to matter to you. If not, who cares? It's not going to affect their Netflix trade. Any questions, guys? If I could sum it up for you in a few sentences or less, I would say equities pushing an all-time high, but failing here once again. They failed at these all-time highs now 4 times this week. They've tried to make a run at 2180. They finally conquered it. It looks weak up here. There's some selling. If you want to try a shot long, wait for 2180. If you want to try a shot short, wait for a bit of a rally because I think we're going to make one more press into an all-time high this afternoon around 1:30 to 2 p.m. Netflix, I see some downside. That's the trade of the day. If you want to see all of our other trades and our portfolios that we run on a weekly basis and how we make literally, I mean, I'm not going to guarantee this or say it out there just because, but we make a good income from an incredibly low amount of money that shocks most people. And I just show all of the trades live. So if you want to join that and be part of it, great. Show up. TradeProAcademy.com /pricing. You can sign up for the Trade Pro package. $79 a month gets you access to all the trades, live webinars on Sunday, updates, and you get to be part of a community of people who are doing this thing for a living. All right. If you don't want to be part of it, great. You can watch these videos. I'm happy to offer them to you guys. Have a wonderful day. All the best. That's the Netflix trade. Remember, stop above this high, target 94s. Momentum's in your corner. Roll with it. Take care. Have yourselves a wonderful day. And I'll see you at our next update on Monday. I don't do these updates on Friday. I usually am done trading by 11:30 on a Friday, and that's it. I start the weekend early. So I'll see you here tomorrow, Monday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern for the next update. Oh, Apple. Sorry, I forgot something. How do we do on Apple? We killed that trade. I don't know if you guys, yesterday I gave you this trade for free. Don't say I don't do anything for you guys. By the way, when I say I gave you a trade, I gave you the idea. I don't want you guys trading everything the same way as me. You know what I think of signal services? I think they're complete BS. If you need a signal to trade, eventually you're going to be parted with your money. I guarantee that. Guarantee it 100%. If you need signals to trade, you need to look at taking some more accountability of your own production and your own results. I'm just being flat out and honest with you guys. I don't sugarcoat anything. Those of you that know me that I'm brutally honest, too much so sometimes. But I can tell you, if you're looking for signals, providing your signals, giving you trade ideas. Here's the trade idea for yesterday. It was on Apple. We took a shot on a 15-minute chart here at 108. We got 108.20. The thing started to curl over. Great chance to exit at the top of this value area profile. So I gave you this trade yesterday. Literally would have made you a couple $100 if you just bought the options. I'm not saying you should. You're responsible for your own trades. If you held it overnight and you're a little bit more patient, our stop loss was down below this low, which was never triggered. Okay, we never hit our stop. So you could still be holding on to this trade and targeting 108.90 once again on Apple. And technically, you got the momentum supporting that trade to the upward with CCI giving you some support. So you got wind in the sail to take it up to 109. Only thing I'm concerned about on Apple is price is going down. Volume is starting to show up a little bit. You see this? I mean, I like the fact that we rallied on high volume on the open. I like that as we sold off, volume dropped. I just didn't like that on this rally, volume stayed weak. I expect to see a bit of a pop. I would have jumped on board to take it higher. But 109 is your target on Apple. Stop is still down here from the trade yesterday. Do as you please. That's what I'm looking at. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. I wish you trading consistency. And if you have any questions, let me know. Info at Trade Pro Academy or Georgia Trade Pro Academy. I'm here to work with you guys. And I hope you guys join and become members because there's a ton of more value waiting for you on the other side of that door. I can promise you're not going to get this much for this little. All right? Take care. You guys have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Enjoy tomorrow. And I'll see you next week. Goodbye.